Producer, produce the guest,
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yo, good morning. It's time for the Ronin Radio. We're active, we're live, and today, it's a Tuesday, first Ronin Radio of the week. We're going to recap last week and get into the future, what's about to happen moving forwards. We have, at this moment in time, 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 successful games in this industry in terms of the mind share, in terms of the economy, in terms of the Ronin wallet works better on the game. Yes, that's the scenario right now. We're going to talk about it just loosely, and we'll also be jumping into some fishing frenzy today because it's been on the timeline hot as a fucking pot on the stove. We also will be joined at some point during the show by Based. The guy's based, bro. His name's literally Based, so how can he not be based? But he is a web dev. I don't know if I'm underselling that. It's probably so much more, but we're going to talk with him today. He was in charge of developing the Fishing Frenzy Tips website. So we're going to take a look, man. We're going to take a little look. So if you were waiting to get involved with Fishing Frenzy, or maybe you just recently got involved with Fishing Frenzy, today's show may be the one that reveals some goodies for you guys. So stick around for that. Of course, there's a lot of things happening macro-wise. We probably won't talk too much macro because, unfortunately, my good friend, Mr. Theben, 1437. He's not feeling too well today, ladies and gentlemen. So prayers go out to the fallen soldier. He's sick. So we're gonna have to keep the show moving without him. But you know what? Yo, chill out. Because okay, I'm not trying to show this right now. Shit, there's a leak. There you go. Woo! What's going on, people? Welcome. It's the Ronin Radio. If it's your first time tuning in, well, welcome. We cover the Ronin Network, hottest news, information, updates, leaks, community members, whatever it is that happens on Ronin. It's going to happen here on Ronin Radio. Last week, we hosted one of the co-founders, G-Host. It was a great show. If you want to catch that up, or you want to catch any of our other content up, you can now access that on our YouTube channel, the Ronin Radio. And if you don't already, follow us over on X. Shout out to all the community members. If you're here, let's get the show shared around. If you press the little share button on X, you can literally post this live stream. So that's something that I want to see happening. post a live stream at the Ronin Radio, and we have a giveaway for one thing that we're going to reveal on Thursday's show, right? So if you are posting a live stream, Angry Bread, take note. If you post a live stream and you at the Ronin Radio, we're actually going to just put you guaranteed on the list. We have 50 slots for this giveaway. We're going to put you on the list. So let's get this shared around. GM, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Without further ado, though, we're going to get into the show today. But also, our show is always brought to you and sponsored by the greatest game in blockchain on planet Earth. What game blockchain is that? What? It's fucking Ronin. Welcome to the Ronin Radio. My boy's in the building. It's Stark, everybody. Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. Wow. Well, yeah, it's going. It's moving. I honestly think. Maybe it was Easter weekend. He is risen. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like we're about to rise from the ashes too, bro. I don't know, 45 cents, 44 cents. And now suddenly today we'll be sitting pretty at like 53 cents. I feel a comeback season around the corner. I'm not here to jinx it, but just me personally, I think the pain has been around for long enough. If you look at macros, there is a bit of solidification, look at that fucking word, happening. In some aspects, I don't even know if that's a word, to be honest. I'm just out of bullshitting. But
solidification, yes, it is. Or when you talk about,
that's an amazing word, actually. I'm so glad I pulled that one out the onion basket. But I think there's like a bit more sure footing in a macro element. A lot of this came from like a liquidity scarcity fear, right? They were fearful of a lack of liquidity, which means that liquidity kind of seized up in investment markets. And when people aren't making investments, of course, crypto is a form of investment and these are assets. So that's essentially what happened, right? If we start to remove that fear and liquidity starts to be released, and then even opportunity starts to be spoken of. And something Jiho said last week, again, check the show on YouTube if you missed it, that when the last pump kind of happened, which was after the Donald Trump victory, Ronin and Axie were like leaders or in terms of volume spikes. He was alluding to something because where like they were the ones that pumped the most, right?
For sure. In the gaming tokens, we were the tokens pumping the most. That's what he was saying. It was not even volume, like in price, in like the plus percentage, the was going the hardest. No, but yeah. And that was a good reminder, like a good reminder, if because I had forgotten about that too, just about to grab on to stay strong, basically, because when things are pumping, it's like where the better fundamentals are and all of that, where everything's being built, and I guess we're just waiting for the moment. I don't know if it's a combination. It must be a combination of like macro conditions, but also just a standout game, that brings the wave of people in, or is it plenty little games that slowly build up the community with people from the outside? Little small fishing games, for example.
Little small fishing games. This is what we're going to get into today. Shout out to everyone. If you've been playing Fishing Frenzy, let us know in the comments how you've been finding it, whether it's a game that's on your radar, if you like it, if you don't. All the opinions are welcome here in the show. So let us know. We are going to do a little deep dive. I have not played it on my personal Ronin wallet yet, so I signed in. We're going to play it live with you guys today, but also we're going to take a look at the Fishing Frenzy tips website, which these are really helpful tools to be used in these games, especially when there is like this min-maxing approach that needs to happen. A lot of people I've been speaking to saying they just play it for the daily energy, and what are the use cases for that? Why are you playing the energy? What does the energy get you in return? And like, where are you going to be starting to allocate resources? Of course, there's like cooking challenges that happen on a weekly basis at the moment, so we're going to dive into those for the rest of the show pretty much. But we do have a guest, like I said. Based is in the building, so I before we jump into that, there's like a few more of the things that I want to kind of cover over, but we'll talk to Based about his development of the website, what he thinks of the game, and what's his strategy as a fisherman himself. But before that, I got some bookmarks because I thought, let me save. Anytime I'm on the timeline, I just look through stuff and I'm like, if it's interesting, I'm going to save it. We're going to talk about it, whatever. So I take a gander every other day to look through the TL. And some of the most interesting things that have happened over the last week or so, or since our last episode. The big thing, the talk of the town over the weekend for me, I don't know how much you heard of it, Stark, but the Ragnarok Online Landverse, land NFTs, right? I heard that they were hot property. We also see that they over allocated, and we've done this before, right? People allocate Ron to be put into a raffle for tickets. Currently, right, one ticket is 200 Ron. We are currently oversubscribed by 6,155%, which means 250 tickets are available, but 15,388 tickets.
That's at the moment, that's about a 1.6% chance of getting one. So good luck to everyone.
Yeah.
So we know it's going to pop the fuck off, because that's already 3 million RON contributed. But as we know, even though we have L RON now that allows you to do this ahead of time,
yes,
big whales are careful with their stacks, and so it doesn't mean that most people will still use L RON. So here, I think we're gonna get a huge spike towards the end, like when there's any of these mints of this kind. I'm predicting this to smash probably the record, actually, because of how in high demand they are. There's only 1,000. Ron is also down compared to when there was the Fableborn one, which I think is the current leader. It was what, 7, 8 million, 10 million, 11 million. I don't remember. Maybe not. If it's over 10 million, as I'm.
Well, I'm going to get the calculator out. If it's $200, 200 RON, sorry, a ticket.
No, but it says it on the bottom there. It says it on the bottom of the image, bottom right of the image. It says 3.08 million. But I'm trying to remember the previous ones. But
no. Fableborn was ridiculous. Fableborn was stupid. It was like 15 million, I think, or 20 something million. It was a lot. It was a fucking lot. I think the numbers here is probably what is bit more difficult of a sell right now, because like you said, 1.6%, like, yeah, you can allocate the RON, you don't lose it if you don't get a ticket, right? You get that RON back, which is understood.
I love it,
but
I love this minting method, as opposed to I almost think that you could do almost only this, but then I think
it removes that like rush, right, and the botting of public mint stages that you see across the industry.
But also, I'm saying that's even with whitelists. I don't know. I think that it's important for communities, for games to be able to cherry pick certain people that deserve the whitelist chance. You know, like, so whether it's someone active on Discord or someone who's like active on Twitter, because those are important community members too. You know, but. Or just like people who are just hyped about the game, and it makes you feel special, right? If you were picked for a whitelist, it solidifies. It's a good solidification mechanism.
Whoa, we're bringing the word out fully today. Yo, shout out to 420 viewers in the chat. It was 420 on Easter today, so I saw a lot of Jesus smoking weed images. It was a good weekend. So that's what I'm saying. I feel refreshed. I feel vitalized. This happened on Monday, I believe. It ends in 17 hours, so this is going to be a this week thing, and then there is a second mint after this, right? The public, the whitelist phase, and then the public phase that will come there after. So if you've been in Ragnarok online, yeah, it is Ragnarok Online, right? Then how important are land NFTs? Maybe let me know in the comments, right, what you guys think. Why would you have a land NFT? Is there really like this inherent value here? Of course, you need 4. You need to win 4 tickets to be able to get the land of Prontera, as you see with the merging or the upgrading process. Like what is it actually going to do? I mean, we could deep dive into this. I'm not a Ragnarok player, unfortunately. I think it is very successful in Southeast Asia. For me, over here, there's no intrinsic attachment personally, but maybe you're a big Ragnarok fan and you can tell me all the juicy alpha on that. But nonetheless, this is really good signs, in the depths of these sentiment time periods. Having an oversubscribed NFT ticket purchase phase at this manner is always good signs. And I just tweeted out as well from my personal account this right here, which says, reach up to 100k more users. No thanks, I don't want to give you money. But if Ron is, can you get out of the fucking way? Jesus, why is it just stuck there? Anyway, if Ron is down, NFTs are cheap, right? NFTs are cheap, bro. Like, one of the things we looked at right before this was Realms. Shout out to Berlin. Shout out to Sushinobi. We're looking at Realms, right? When they first were minted, I'm sorry, Stark, because I know this is probably mashing up investments and whatnot. Not investments, but like potential committals to, oh yes, this is a good pickup. But either way, this is what we do here at Ronin Rain. I'm just telling you how it is. Like, just telling you how it is. When they first minted, they were around the same price, run factor. Of course, if you value your run, you don't want to spend your run, then fucking have it in L-run staked, or have it staked on a single-sided validator or in liquidity pools, you know? Use your run wisely. But the run value for them was the same. Of course, run is inherently stupidly less than what it was when they first minted. So the price for them, actually dollar value wise, right now is pretty damn cheap for what they proposed to be, right? Before I was very much looking at the projects like, I'm not going to be able to pick a lot of these up at all, if one or two max. And now it's a little bit more enticing. But then if the Ronin Network games do well, the NFTs will become expensive. And maybe this is like a cycle. I don't know, Stark, what do you think? Do you think there's a cycle element to this where like market down, sentiment down, NFTs cheap, then the swing happens where it's like market up, sentiment up, NFTs valuable, expensive? Like, is it just natural that that's the price?
I would say rather than describing it in terms of cycles, I would just say that owning good NFTs on a chain is a it can be seen as a leveraged form of holding that token. So that means that when the token's down and the chain's down, the NFTs are down even more. But then the other way, it's usually up even more than the token is once the thing gets popular, because the best NFTs, especially, that's also just an NFT thing, but in gaming specifically, there's also on top of everything, there's the application of the actual game, which is actively playing a reason into why the chains should be gaining popularity, right? If it's one of the best NFTs on a gaming chain, it's probably in one of the best games on the chain, leading to why more people are coming to that chain.
Yeah.
So it's a
True.
good, what they say, accumulation phase, right? So especially like, I think like a lot of people, I myself am like, I don't have that much dry powder. So I'm looking for other ways to accumulate, which is like when things are down with what I have relative to what I have, what's a good accumulation. So like if I can't buy more Ron because all I have is Ron and Ronki, and I don't want to sell my Ronki. Yeah. So what can I do that's going to yield me more Ron in the future?
So yes, there's like a store of value essentially, right? These NFTs could be a store of value because you could purchase a Kojin.
Not exactly.
We don't want to do financial advice, but there is,
because it's not stable. But it's more a bet. You're making more a bet. It's speculation as opposed to store of value. It's speculation that you're trying to accumulate more Ron in the long term, or to make a play that'll yield you more Ron in the long, anytime actually, short, mid, or long term.
Yeah. And no financial advice, of course, guys. If you buy something on the Ronin marketplace, this is not us saying that naturally and inherently that it will be more valuable as we go down the line. There is a chance of it. You might buy the most dog shit NFT and it might be 5 Ron today and 20 Ron tomorrow, and Ron, the price factor is even greater. You know, it might happen, but you know, no financial advice. Make your own fucking decisions. Do your own research, but you know, let's look at the top trending or the top collections of the last 24 hours. I think that gives us a good perspective on what's happening right the fuck now. Ronin. I don't know how we say this, right? With the EN, it just makes me feel like a Scottish person.
Ronin.
Yeah. It's a Scottish geezer. Ronin, you know? Ronin Coin Mining Network. Anyway, Ronin Mining Corp. There was a bit of drama around this project itself. People were questioning the validity. The mint was pretty damn cheap. A lot of people did get involved. They used their own. This is a funny thing. We kind of broke this down on the last show as well. If you look at the analytics here and the holders, normally in a Ronin project, right, there are, what would we call them? Vanguards. There are knights.
Just something like that.
There's people in the Ronin community who have liquidity, of course, have long-term faith in the network. And when like projects arise on the network with some, I guess, potential, they normally are involved, and you can kind of identify them through RNSs and stuff like that. With this project, one of the things at the beginning of it, the inception, was that we didn't know if it was like a full-on rug. Is this like the first rug that's fully infiltrated, is behind the pearly gates, and is like here to fuck everyone's wallet? It's a question. It's a question. It's a real question. Like someone like me, if I go absent for like a day or 2 days into the real world and touch literal physical grass, unlike a lot of you fuckers, and then I come back and I see Ronin, you know, I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, and then I look at the wallet holders. There's levels that can deter me, and unfortunately it did deter me, and now I'm kicking myself in the dick because it seems like there's something going on for real. So I'd like to deep dive a little bit more in this. I've actually reached out to Ronin. They haven't got back to me, so you know, I don't know what the fuck that's about.
The TGE was today. I'm trying to find the chart for it.
They already burnt. They already did like a buyback and burn or something. So
of the chart,
anyway,
do you know? Can you see how the token's doing? Because I think it started off okay. The 15-minute chart looked good, which is all you need in these Ponzi.
Okay, let me zoom out real quick.
There you go.
Ronin is now live on Katana. I'm scared about clicking links here.
No, but click on the contract address and find it on like the Gecko terminal or something. You have a contract address right above you.
I'm sure with 11,000 people seeing it, it's 116 followers. Likes.
That can be botted. Just copy the contract address and look on. You can, anyways.
Where is contract address?
Oh. Right there. You've hovered over it 17 times.
And where does it go? Like CoinGecko or something?
Coin terminal or Gecko terminal. Sorry.
Gecko terminal. I can't even type now, so you know that's welcome to the show. Let's go over here. We got the CA me baby. Here we go. The Ronin coin. Let's do some TA, bro. Some little technical analysis, bro, because I'm your financial advisor for sure.
It's not mega dumping.
Yeah. I mean, there's no fucking TA I can do on this, bro. It's literally been alive for 2 hours or 3 hours or something. Okay, 5 hours. I mean, okay, we're looking at a market cap of 3.8 million, which is not like fucking that bad, but I mean, it's very low. You know, we are the poor people chain right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. We can't push market caps above 10 million.
I heard that they were because it's like with the NFT, it isn't something to do with like ERC20C. It's a bit like they've integrated it, or have they or not in this project?
Well, let me do some reading up, right? There's been a lot of community involvement. Shout out to you guys getting involved. I'm seeing Ronkeys, I'm seeing Mokeys, I'm seeing people from different community pockets like talking about this Ronin token. Of course, if it's a Ponzi style thing, you want people to hear about it because you'll make more money as they enter. But it seems to be like quite well received, but somebody who is a bit of a veteran, or is a veteran in our space, shout out to Trevor, says that Ronin scares me. I tell you what, Trevor, I'm going to send you a DM right now with a link to the show. You can join the studio. We can talk about that real quick. So if you actually want to come through and do that, then we can make that happen. But I think they've
done interesting things, including the fact that you need the token to upgrade your miners, and it's done in a good way in the sense that it's almost not worth holding your miners anymore if you're not going to upgrade them. So that there's a real incentive to upgrade your miners. And then they've also done a thing where simply holding the token gives you a multiplier also. And I think it seems, from what I'm looking at, it seems like holding gives you an even bigger multiplier than upgrading. So there's a real incentive to hold until the whole house of cards collapses.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the main tweets, right? 1 hour left before TG. This was earlier today. Ronin will soon be tradable on Katana DEX. Official contract address of CA will be posted on the socials, which we took and now we're looking at. The game update post TGE launch. Once TGE goes live, new mechanics will activate. Those mechanics would be 1, withdrawals, which is an off-chain system. It requires a minimum of 5,000 Ronin tokens. So they gave a buy demand right out the gate. At least 1 NFT miner, and then again, buying demand on the NFT side. The limit will be 1 withdrawal per 24 hours. Non-NFT holders can now withdraw 2 hours after the TGE, minimum 3,000 Ronin. So they are putting these like measures in place. Deposits are also enabled, so you can actually deposit the Ronin, which will be necessary to withdraw the Ronin. Funny how they do that, right? And to your in-game wallet. The multiplier system reward has been reworked, which is what you were just talking about, Star. Multiplier will now be based on your in-game Ronin balance. So yeah, the higher the balance, the higher the multiplier. Upgrade feature, the miner upgrades will go live, so you can level up your hash power and mine more. So it is almost fucking carbon copy, not really, but carbon copy of the big boy that we saw over on Abstract. So someone really took it into consideration and delivered on the fact that, bring a Ponzi game to Ronin right now. I'm not a huge, because at the end of the day, I'll be a huge fucking fan if I was 1% allocation positions like this. You know what I mean? But
or if we even had one miner.
Yeah. But I think you guys know what this is, right? I mean, you know what this is. So.
It's good Ponzinomics, let's say, but what I like about stuff like this is the experimentation, right? Because even if it's under the guise, it's not even under the guise, because it's part of the meme of it is to be out in the open that it's a Ponzi, right? They say announcing that you're a Ponzi game. So what I like about it, or the reason why I enjoy talking about it so much, is because it's experimentation that any other project could take things from if it's successful,
Yeah. Well, I've got a really insensitive take. I'm going to type it. You can carry on with your point. I'm going to type it, and then you can tell me.
Guys, it's bad if he's not just blurting it out. It needs vetted. If it needs vetted by Stark, it's going to be spicy as fuck. I almost want to say yes immediately just to see the turmoil.
It's in private.
Wow.
I'm sorry to do this show. I know that everything is normally quite candid and open and upfront, but I really
don't word it that way. Don't word it that way.
Yeah, I needed.
It's like it's they're advertising that they're going to murder you, and then they just end up getting your throat slit. So
yeah, and then people want to claim like the murderer.
But
yeah,
well, even there's an argument that a lot of games, like at least out here, they're saying that it's going to happen, so everyone knows what they're getting into. And it's almost.
My question to you, Stark. My question to you is quite simple, and this is my question to you guys in the audience as well. Let me know in the chat right now, yes or no. Is this something that you are going to get involved in, or want to, or have?
It's never something that you should get involved in at this stage. If you were able to mint, all of the friends that I know that are in it got into mint, sold some to get their ROI out when it was 50, 40, 50, 60, 90 run, and now they still have some, and they're playing with house money. Mm-hmm. And the only people who lose money on things like this are the people getting in at a random time like now, and then
technically not though. If we keep the wheels pumping, the roundabout, the merry-go-round keeps going round.
Who's we? Like, as in, I don't know. Of course you can, but for me, it's the reason why I don't get in after I miss a thing is just it's the risk reward ratio is off. Like the risk that you're incurring here is only worth it if you're getting in at 5 RON. So you got 10 for 50 RON, you're throwing 50 RON out there, and now you have this. But buying each of them for 40 RON, and then you have to buy the tokens and all of that, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe there is. I mean, we don't have perpetual trades or leverage position options and stuff like that. Honestly, again, no, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not even my own financial advisor because I don't fucking advise anything. But if there was a leverage position here to be made, and you just make a little gamble, and it's like outside the ecosystem of the actual game and being involved in the Ponzi game, I probably would I'll put a long position on this. I feel like people are gonna, once they have the validation that this is like legitimate with the amount of content that's coming out, I can see more people picking it up. Like, I genuinely can. So we'll see where it goes. This token is very important that it kind of upholds certain value in these phases, and these tiny little pumps that
especially with all the burning. Yeah. I don't know how many days it has, but at least it's holding.
Well, yeah, that is Ronin.
Did you see Bume's last message or the last comment?
Let me see. Here it is. Game with hot potato. Already passed the potato. It's not on me anymore. Yeah, you had that spud out the ground, being. We're just letting you guys know in the Moses Discord, which is our private server. If you want to join, you can. There is actually a link to it. If you search on social media, Moses_POM, you'll find the link to that Discord. But we've been talking about it for a few days since it literally came about, and people were like, "Is this fake? Is this real?" Some people got involved, some people didn't. We advise using a burner wallet or a fresh wallet to not jeopardize any of your other assets. And some of those guys have got involved, and like I said, they have passed on the potato. Is that the way to go? Alpha channels, I would say yes. Moses is one of them to get involved in, which will, and actually I've never said this publicly, but eventually, it's kind of brazen to say this right now, but eventually Moses will merge. Where it will merge, it will go to the promised land, but it's going to merge, and we're gonna shift a lot more focus. Sentiment down, not a great time. Keeping people together is what it is. Shout out to all the Moses people, but things will come in the future. So if you want to get involved in that now, then please be my guest, Moses_POM on social media. But let's get back to these bookmarks, ladies and gentlemen. There is some more things happening. This is interesting. The Ronin night market. This actually dropped today. But they're now going to start opening up the ability for creators, content creators as such, artists in the community and external to the community, to create advertisements to be posted on Ronin market. They're going to incentivize this with a prize pool originally, but then I'm looking in the future. It's like, okay, can we do this with more sophistication? Can there be like ad revenue, like click-through revenue if people click on the advert? Like if the image, like for example, let's go to the
what do they mean by your own NFTs, as in like NFTs of existing collections that you're trying to sell?
Yes,
or making your own NFT as an artist and trying to promote that? I think
both. I think both. I think there's deliberate ambiguity behind the statement. I think it is both. I can see a lot of Ronki advertisement being made for sure. But like, it's, for example, if the image pops up like this, and if I click explore collection, for me, there should be some kind of percentage allocation to the artist for that. That would be the sophisticated model for that process, in my opinion. But it's very interesting that we're starting these things now. So artists, get ready. There's going to be some opportunity here. The Google form is available. You can submit your ad for the Ronin Night Market. Something to do in these times. But here it says the Ronin Night Market is a contest with a 550 RON prize pool. Create advertisements that highlight your NFT traits, share them on X, and earn RON. Here's how you can enter.
It's from existing collections.
NFT that you own. Yeah, NFT that you own. So you create the ad, share it on X, complete the form, and then you're done. But the Ronin Market team will be looking for creative and fun ideas in your submission. Best ideas and funniest memes will be up for the rewards. So I feel like this #1 spot is definitely going to go to a Ronki. Shout out to my Ronkies. And yeah, that's about it. But I like the way this is being presented right now. But yes, definitely a more sophisticated model in the future would be appreciated.
I think I'm gonna ask in the Ronki chat if an artist wants to pair up with me, and we do an ad to sell Bat Ronki, and we share the 100 or the 200 Ronki.
Yeah. Whoa! You're saying you let go of Bat Ronki?
No, you don't have to. The 200 Ronki goes to the best ad, not to the best.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. More Ronin news though.
If it ends up being leading to an extravagant sale, then why not? I'll be able to get my hand on to accumulate some Kojin before next month. Next month is a playtest, by the way.
Yes, playtest fast around the corner. I think we'll be actually previewing some of that here on the Ronin Radio. So keep. You need
because I think there's been a single sale in the last 2 weeks of Kojins, and that's a bit criminal given that you need a holder. You need to be a holder to play test it on the 25th of May. So I think if we talk about this show or this segment in a month, I think the prices might be very different. But no financial.
No financial. I'm just gonna give it you like this, right? $150 for one of these bad boys right now is pretty much a steal as of the initial mint price. I don't think the RON value will go down. If anything, it will probably go up if the playtest is successful. But yeah, not actually calling anything or saying that it's going to happen. This is an absolute fucking gem, a grail sitting here for $500 right now, which I think if the pricing of this was correct, and this is Asta Restate, by the way. Asta, let me do an OTC with you. What the fuck? I didn't even realize that, but
is it the horn, or is it because it's an epic something,
bro,
or what? No,
it's
a rare.
purple. It's got tattoos. It's got fucking
Yeah,
hands for horns. It's just
dope.
beautiful. Yeah, it's just beautiful. But either way, I think this is probably the most opportunistic time to get involved or be a Kojin holder, especially at these 300 run price points. So I would predict this floor to be swept, and maybe 340, 350 will be the natural floor later on in the week. But that's enough of that. In other Ronin news, bro, we have the CCIP migration update. Bridging onto Ronin right now is smooth, right? It's gonna be, we're gonna leverage this CCIP. I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm gonna just be straight up, bro. Like during this time, we'll be able to use a CCIP bridge between Ronin and other chains as usual, and we're just closing down other bridges for security reasons.
Maybe CCIP is the bridge where we were only able to do, like, there was chain link at first only, and then so now they're apparently it's replacing everything, the whole bridge.
So there'll be one bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge to Ronin.
We never got the full lowdown. Like when Metaland got exploited, and then they're like, full analysis coming, blah, 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 in the future. Radio silent. So that just shows you, because I don't know if you remember, but their wording was that it was other not quite taking full responsibility for what happened, the Metaland team, and then they end up not saying anything, which says a lot. But it was through apparently CCIP bridge, something, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, cross chain bridge. I don't know what the IP is for, but either way, bridging on Ronin. Hopefully, this is what it means: is that there's a lot more security around it, and
also it's. I think it's not just it doesn't potential to not just be Ronin and Ethereum, right?
It's a multiple.
So whereas the Ronin bridge as it stands is only Ronin to ETH. So
okay, well that would be it then, right? Yes, to open up the avenues, which is a good thing. Hopefully, we see more volume from that. People maybe have large positions in other ecosystems, other areas of this industry, and be like, you know what, Ronin is the fucking golden network for gaming. I mean, if you were not an idiot, you'd know that. And there's an opportunity to bridge this way through that. So hopefully we'll see some uptick in volume and transactions coming across. But yeah, on that note, Star, let's talk about games of the month. So far, we're almost at the end of April. A lot of games have had their play tests or their time to shine this month. Cambria being one of them, Fishing Frenzy being another. There's been other playtests that have existed. Party Icons did their thing too. Wonder Wars season finished towards the start of the month, and there's been a lot of things going on. Up to Last Odyssey's live right now. There's a shit ton going on right now in terms of games on Ronin. Your opinion on how this month has gone, and if you were to call a game of the month so far,
it has to be Cambria, right? Because I don't think it's uncontested, and I think there hasn't been. I don't think there's a clear number two either. Maybe Fishing Frenzy, but to be fair, Fishing Frenzy seems like it's been doing decently for a while. Mm-hmm. But I think Cambria's been doing so good that I think even if there was a second, like a real second, it would still blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
I don't feel FOMO for not playing it, just because I knew that it's like, the only people getting the most out of this are just like non-stop playing. The hardcore, like you lose, you snooze, you lose sort of thing. It's not even that. It's like the 14 hours a day for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. It's almost over, right? Are we fast approaching the end of this?
The people who are playing it must feel like it's been 3 months that they've been playing, and it's actually been 2.5 days. I think it's the first week is past, I believe. The end is nigh. Shout out to Nix in the chat, who's
let's go.
Guild is slowly creeping up the leaderboard.
Yeah,
Slowly, not so slowly.
Hey,
Sometimes.
shout out to Grimoire, bro. Nah, to be honest, I keep a tabs on it. I am in the Grimoire server, so you always see there's always a chat going on. There are always active, some heavy MMO players there for sure. But MMOs have been doing pretty well. I think in terms of ecosystem, Cambria has absolutely smashed it. Right, they've put out a model that a lot of people can learn from. And we'll probably see improvements across the industry from this display, in my opinion. The process of how these rewards will be distributed, I think, was excellent from the team itself, not to over leverage themselves as a team, and even to create that hype cycle in a condensed manner. I think is really, really clever, and it's been successful. As you've seen, it's been absolutely everywhere. So look, good luck to everyone that has been playing. Hopefully you guys get what you want from this, but not everybody wins. For winners, there needs to be losers, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
That's life.
That's life. It is. It's fucking life. Welcome to real life, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I want to reiterate on it again. Congratulations to the team for a successful event, as what it seems right now, for sure. And I think they'll continue to improve month on or season on season. It would be right, season on season. For
you want to highlight Nix's tweet?
Yeah, I'm bringing it up right now. I was just getting all the way over to that link, but let's go through it. Shout out to Nix. The best way to hack gaming mindshare for your crypto game is to have as many shots on goal. This means two things: the more players who are having fun or earning, the higher your chance of having vocal advocates on socials. Absolutely. The more powerful loops you have in game, the more shots you have of every single gamer archetype wanting to make content or flexing said content online. The more advocates who make content, the more your mindshare will grow. Sounds basic and Captain Obvious, but it's the reality in the situation. Having strong and interesting loops that make it easy for people to get hooked and make user-generated content is key to winning mindshare. This is why you are all seeing a lot of Play Cambria on your feed right now. Royal favor earnings, trinket and land ticket earnings, PvP montages, rare loot drops, guild gatherings, guild rankings, and dungeon runs, all part of that content machine that people are churning out. They also have KOL campaign, which is going to pay some of these creators in the long run for promoting and putting content out there. Shout out to people like Aru Alex, who's been an amazing creator during this period of time as well. So they did really well. Ultimately, I think the nutshell of this is like, if you put on a campaign for your game that rewards the players directly, and it's understood by those players that they can get rewarded for participating. If you give them incentives to onboard as well, then you're going to see the ability or their ability to post and create content soar and go through the roof. Axie largely displayed this in its early days of like how them bringing more people into the ecosystem naturally made the ecosystem thrive. The more Axies that were bred, the more availability, and then the more volume in terms of people getting involved and purchasing the access to breed, etc. But yeah, like you really got to nail these points to kind of drive that. And once you have the mind share, like that's when your game really starts to drive the narrative forwards. Like, this is a successful pathway. Then you'll have people like your investors. Maybe they're not the gamers, but you could have people who are the investors getting involved at that point, knowing that there's demand there. But more importantly, the loops, the in-game loops, things to do. Cambria was filled with a lot of things to do. They've got people who are like catching eels to sell them for silver, and that's their plan, because they're not a PvP player. You've got people who are in guilds and they have their guild rankings as their dedicated focus. Like, there's a ton of avenues to really be vested in the game in terms of your attention. And then the demand to go and talk about that and flex that on the timeline comes in with the rewards.
It's a long way to say that there's just a game with content in it, right? It's as simple as that. And then you add on to that, like Nick is saying in chat, that it's the reality is liquid fucking cash is king during this market, because you have that number that's creeping up, and it's a price pool in USDC, and people are able to swap their gold for USDC. So that's just another undeniable fact that people are just raking in some money, and that especially even more so in this market when there's no other opportunity, basically, that's another thing.
Yeah, it's also, bro, I've checked this page multiple times over the last 2 weeks, and there has never been a drop off below like 3,000 players online. So there is a consistency factor. Shout out
No,
to
they're
Cambria.
not. It's the same 3,000 players. They're just never sleeping.
They're just never going to sleep. Yeah. Yo, shout out to you hardcore Cambrians out there, bro. Giembria to you, man. But yeah, shout out to Ben Z and the Cambria team as well, for putting on a great show. Another game that has been doing well, we are talking about it, is Fishing Frenzy. We got Based in the chat. I'm going to bring him through now. My boy, Based is in the building. He's developed a lot of things in the past. He's even been in Moses, helping develop some things here and there. There's no question to the ability, but he has now developed something for another game called Fishing Frenzy, and that website is called Fishing Frenzy Tips. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about it today because I love that community involvement. People in the community can come into these game ecosystems and enhance it by developing tools and services or whatever it may be. And this is one that I'm going to be taking a look at today because we're going to play Fishing Frenzy for a little bit here, just show you guys what it is and why so many people are starting to dedicate portions of their day towards the energy that is given in Fishing Frenzy. But Base, welcome to the Ronin Radio, bro. Ski, what's good?
Yo, what is up, guys?
Yo,
how we doing, man?
This famous is dot tips website maker.
Pixel tips. Dot tips. You need a trademark for the dot tips, bro. Just the tips. Of course.
Wow. That's not what I was.
I wanted to find a way. But either way, this is Fishing Frenzy tips. I guess Base, the best way to start this isn't actually here. Let's start here, right? Let's start with the game itself, Fishing Frenzy. Did you where do I start with this? Fishing Frenzy came to Ronin in late January, right as the meme cycle was kind of happening. Founders Pass NFTs went live maybe a month ago, and the sentiment for Fishing Frenzy has kind of like had a steady uptick. I think the team is really like approaching it really well, producing their own kind of content, having their own creative programs, and getting mind share the way that they have has been really cool to see. How did you get involved with Fishing Frenzy, and what made you think, you know what, I'm gonna actually dedicate some of my time and develop a tool for this game, and why, I guess, like why Fishing Frenzy?
I actually started playing the game. Actually, I tried it. I signed up a couple of times, but with different social accounts. So I kind of went through the tutorial like a couple of times. But it wasn't until like last week that I really got hooked into the game. Not sure why. I guess like the cooking game loop was pretty fun. So like right now, this is
one sec, Base, because the game volume is so loud I can't hear you anymore.
Wait! The game volume's gone?
No, it's not gone. It's just so loud I can't hear Base. I
turned it off on my web browser. That's why I didn't know it was playing through. We caught a fish, baby! We caught a fish. I actually remember playing this. I remember playing this,
and I cut him off. But yeah, sorry.
I know. But I'm just gonna say, I remember playing this during the meme coin stuff. We were like waiting for meme coins to do their thing and shit, and I was sitting here fishing. So I remember being like, "Oh, this is pretty fun." As like a little passive thing to do in the background. So I understand why people have been caught in this ecosystem. And also speaking with Derek, this is it's gonna scale. It's gonna scale. There's gonna be more than just fishing. So that's to look forward to. Either way, let's go back to it. Base, how did you get involved, and why did you decide to build tools for Fishing Frenzy?
Yeah, it's a super chill game, right? So I started playing like last week, I think. Like I really got hooked into the game because I wanted to buy the dragon pet. So if you go into the shop now, there's like a VIP thing going on, and if you collect these coins, like on level 5, I think you unlock this like dragon pet.
Oh, look at this!
Wow.
which I don't think is gonna be there forever. So I'm like spending Ron to like try and get that dragon. So
Yeah.
I've just been buying a lot of energy with my coins.
Mhm.
And yeah, just like playing the game. Like the game's super fun, but the sad thing is you only get 30 energy every day, right? And that's gone in like 15 minutes. So yeah, so like basically I bought a lot of energy and like caught a ton of fish. And then I went to the cooking page and like I was trying to figure out which recipes made sense to like craft and like which fish to sell on the market instead. And the only way to find it out is like to check the prices, right? So like basically I went to my bag and like one by one each fish, I checked the price on Navis and I was like, this is super tedious. So I'm gonna build a tool to like do it. And
Right.
yeah, so like basically that night I knocked out the site.
So
Nice.
let's take a look at this. All right. So this is largely focused right now towards like recipes and cooking, and then like putting the fish into different category, showing their market rate as well on Ronin Market. So players can like really come in and min max the game, right?
Yeah, like right now there's not too many decisions in the game you can make. Like it's pretty linear because when you fish, it's like super RNG based, and then cooking is pretty much the only thing you can like have to choose between, like options to choose from, and this kind of helps you with like min maxing. And
Where
then I'm
is
gonna
the?
add
Yeah. Sorry,
fish
carry on.
prices and price charts as well. Yeah,
Nice. I was gonna say, so we're looking at like rewards here. You've akin rewards to like XP, right? And in Fishing Frenzy, my XP is gonna level me up, and like you said, the certain things in the shop you won't be able to purchase unless you're a certain level. So that's kind of like the focus right now. People are grinding to get their level up to give them access to certain items. Yes, they'll have to spend, but acquiring the assets now is something that is not going to be forever. For example, this Ignis you were saying is not going to be here forever. So if you don't get to level 5 before it disappears,
I think he's speculating that it's not going to be forever. That's not confirmed, right? You're just making your bet, right? Well, that's how I understood it.
what's not forever?
The dragon,
Ignis
is it
dragon.
confirmed that it's not forever, or you're just
Oh
assuming?
yeah. I mean, I'm guessing the campaign's gonna end at some point.
Yeah, they have done. They already have done. There's been like multiple of these pets that have existed that have been time.
Yeah, like I
based.
missed all the other pets, so I was like, shit, I gotta get the dragon now because that's the only one I can get.
Bro, this motherfucker just flew off the screen. I'm 100% trying to get this dragon, bro. Like, if we think about it, okay, so there's ranking, there's leaderboard systems as well. Like, has there been a confirmation from Fishing Frenzy in terms of this reward system? Like, basically what I'm saying is Cambria's been very open, very candid about the cash factor of rewards, right? Is Fishing Frenzy similar, or is it largely speculation based right now? And that like the future value of assets that you can get within this game will have there'll be a necessity around owning them to take part in when that cash reward system kind of comes into play, or is it already here?
Right now, there's like actually a cooking competition going on. I think 10,000 Ron or something is going to like the top 500 on the cooking leaderboard. And then there's also the Frenzy Points. Frenzy Points is like the play to airdrop points, basically.
Okay.
But I'm not too sure what they give you. I think there's probably gonna be a token, because in the white paper it just redacted. But I'm guessing it's a token.
Oh, the good old famous redacted. Yeah, I mean that normally does mean a token, right? For sure, we've seen that play out in the past. It's interesting then for sure. There is a lot of them, like, bro. I don't know what the player metrics are for Fishing Frenzy. I know they did post it though at some point. Like, I think it was Derek, founder, who. Let me see if I can find this actually on X. I think he posted like some of the data points of Fishing Frenzy so far. Here's a post that actually recently came out. In the last week, we launched a 10,000 RON cooking contest, added QO, quality of life features to the game, partnered with Kind, revealed our creator program, and distributed founder pass rewards. Imagine what happens after a year. So there are founder pass rewards. Do we not have any details on the founder pass rewards?
What does the founder pass do? Does it like give you more energy and stuff like that, or not?
It should, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think it just gives you like drops of cosmetics right now. And also coins and frenzy points.
I tell you what, though,
Because
from the mint
this is
price,
100. This is 100 Ron mint.
Yeah, this is a good
Nice.
fucking flip.
Where do we put your? I saw you had a referral code on the website. Where do we put that in
Yes.
game? Just
Should be in settings if you click on your profile.
I
Yeah.
think.
Let's see. Let's put it in. Let's put it in. Display name. You can put one link to their account.
Shout out to games that have a referral code and that don't have one. Then take it down for months before a new one comes out.
Yeah, I don't even know where to put this in. Wait, friend, maybe.
Settings. No.
No.
You're also
Oh,
not
no,
on
there's
the game,
mine.
so we can't walk you through it.
No, I'm about to share it over. But there's it doesn't seem like an obvious place to put it in. But one of the things we should do today, like, look, these types of tools are really, really helpful in these ecosystems. If you're playing Fishing Frenzy right now, by all means, go to the website. Make sure you use this referral code. Let's get based. Some rewards going through there. I think Derek's already noticed you on the timeline, and this is kind of the power of Ronin, really, in my opinion. When a community has talent, when a community, has drive to do things like this, I think it's a really good pointer towards ecosystems in which games may thrive and where you would want your games to exist and the types of people to be involved. So I just want to say hats off to the website. This is something that I'm going to be using for sure moving forwards. I feel like I'm so far behind, but this is a game where I don't feel like that matters so much. It's kind of at your own pace. And really, if I spend Ron enough, I can kind of catch up those who maybe aren't spending Ron in the game, right? So I guess we can go fishing for a little bit, but Stark, is this up your street? Would you play this? I've seen this being played on mobile as well. You can play this on the browser on your phone, which is another good point.
I'm already. As soon as I saw that dragon in the shop, I opened up the tab and made an account.
But you just wasted energy,
bro. I just wasted energy. I just pulled up a trash bag.
Yeah, but if you had done the tutorial, it shows to you that there's you have to wait for the bubbles. You have to wait for the bubbles to hook it.
Bro, fish!
No.
I missed the button. I was clicking somewhere else.
Go. This is
Come on, bro.
But yeah, he's
I actually can't catch this fish.
I
can't catch it!
It's actually like really hard to play with the mouse. Yeah. It's a lot easier on the phone.
On phone, yeah. Well, what's for sure is we're still waiting for a game that Gila's good at, because doesn't look like it's this one.
I'm really good at Repo. If you go watch our Saturday stream, hey, I'm good at that game.
I want to play it again.
Yumi is actually really fucking good at that game. Yumi is very good at that game. No, look at this pro fisher. Come on, fish.
Bait
Get me back. Oh, it's just a but no, listen, this is like just to detox from the day sometimes. This type of a game, bro, even if it's just 15 minutes, even if you are just a non-paid player, you just come in here and use your energy. Like it's a way to just go fishing, bro. Just go fishing. But shout out to Derek, shout out to Fishing Frenzy. I think they've got the formula down pretty well for a game that's kind of slowly expanding its ecosystem, and tools like the Fishing Frenzy tips is definitely something that we're happy to see in this community. So I'm going to be using this, getting on these recipes. I'm going to be spending Ron. I'm just going to be honest, because I need to catch up and I need to get good at fishing. Because right
make
now,
sure you find a way to put in the referral code before you spend Ron.
Yes.
Put in based referral code.
Yes. Please let us know in the chat if you know how to put this referral code in. Please fucking let us know.
Should I buy a fishing rod?
Oh, there is rods on the market, right? So there's the Founders Pass, but
rods. Like, have you guys used any rods before?
No. This is my first time playing the game, so
they are breaking a lot on the first try, and it's super fucking frustrating.
What about a legendary rod?
So they all have like a 2.5% chance apparently to break.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all breaking on the first try.
Yeah. This is like
my strategy right now is to buy the cheapest rods because.
So what are the rods doing though? Is it enhancing the catch basically, the percentage chance of the catch being rarer ultimately?
I think it shows you that in game, but you have to have the rod first or something. or it's on the. There's a
I
fishing
want
frenzy
to buy one.
like Notion or something like that where they have all the rates down. But it's about
Okay.
Buy the
15%
cheapest
to
rods.
I'm gonna buy
to
the
get
cheapest one. Yeah.
There's a Notion for the fishing rods. Okay.
If there's a Notion, please, yo, let's get a link sent over.
Because I see there's a battle pass too.
Oh no, dude, that one's broken.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Don't
what?
buy it. You can see on the image. Does that look like a
You
rod?
can't use it.
Anyways. Oh,
Can I wait? Break chance? I don't want a broken one. How do I?
no, yeah. Put break sense and
Okay.
select two. Okay.
Oh, look at this.
Doesn't that look much better, more appealing to buy?
Yes, it has color. Hello. All right. Well, we're gonna get one of these.
Should at this stage, should I buy the battle pass or should I wait 9 days? How long does the battle pass? Is it every month, every 2 weeks?
I've got no idea, honestly.
Okay.
In wallet. Let's refresh.
I can already see myself aping into this. I can't believe I haven't played this before now.
I know. It's one of them. I gotta wait 6 seconds. Either way, I'm gonna have a running game. Hopefully,
it makes total sense though that now it makes total sense that the sentiment's been so good, like held strong for so long.
Yeah, it's got a good feel to it. I don't know what it is. Even like it's just appealing as well. I think it's a lot to do with the art style, but like the menu, the UI of this game. I like sometimes there's like too many layers of complexity. Like one thing a lot of people found in Cambria, and I'm not openly shitting on Cambria here, but like a lot of the time you didn't know what the fuck you were supposed to do. Whereas this is quite guided. And if you know me, you know that I probably need some guidance, right? So,
but you also don't listen to guidance, so. You almost bought a broken fishing rod in front when we're on a call with an expert at the game. So,
well, sometimes that's it adds an element of fun. You never know what you're going to get.
Fun, yes.
Also, Quazzing Life is here in the YouTube chat. He said, "When are they going to put Fishing Frenzy on Mavis Hub?" Fishing Frenzy is a browser-based game, so it doesn't need to be on the Mavis Hub.
Yeah.
So you can just
and I forgot on that topic briefly because I tweeted once about like Mavis Hub, but I didn't realize. Jiho's answered that if you go to your Ronin wallet on your browser and you go to Discovery, that's kind of like the new Mavis Hub. So you would go to Discovery, featured games all, and you could click on games, and that way you'll find out which ones by clicking on them and play now. You'll find out which ones require a download, which ones are browser games, because you can go straight to the game, and then you can choose whether or not to play a game if you need to download it or not. But Fishing Frenzy, you don't need to download. You could even find it. On Ronin Market too, if you go to their collection, if you go to the game, before clicking on collections, you can click on play now and it brings you straight to the tab. Play now, boom, tab opens, play game.
Cool. Nice little tips for you guys there. But yeah, based, let's before we leave it off here, what should the peoples do other than use your referral code? How can they help you yourself? Because ultimately, I am an advocate for getting community members fucking paid, bro, because you're putting in work, you're producing, which deserves some kind of reward system. How can we best support Fishing Frenzy tips and the work that you kind of do here in the Ronin ecosystem?
I guess just spread the word about the wikis that I built. Recently, people have been reaching out for support and might be working out something with Sky Mavis to help support things I've been doing.
That. Nice. Love that. Shout out to SM, bro. You're doing it right.
I found how to put the code in if you want it that way. If we do it on stream,
let's do it.
To show everybody else. So you go to press the little I at the very top, and then wait, where did I find it?
Oh yeah, good one.
Oh, it's click on friend. Click on friend. Sorry, a friend, and then you click on the book, the purple ref book, and there you put in.
Let's go and pick it up. Submit. There it is. 5HX13S. Shout out to Base. Thank you for coming through to the show, bro, on a short notice as well. So appreciate you. I'm going to be using the website. I might even be DMing you if I'm fucking up, but I'm going to try and find out how to get really involved in this Fishing Frenzy process. So thank you for coming through, my bro. If you want to stick around, chill with us for the rest of the show, please do. A few more things to go, and we're going to wrap today's show up. Already been here for an hour and 10. Shout out to everyone that's came through, bro. Over 890 of you fuckers already. It's another week. I think the sentiment's turning around. I don't know where you're at with it, Stark, but I'm not joking, bro. I think we're gonna start seeing a month of May being a maybe we're back. Maybe we're back. That's what I think of May. Maybe we're back.
Couldn't have described it better, I think.
Maybe.
No, but the sentiment's turning, but also we've been burnt a lot, so people are. It's normal that people are cautiously optimistic. And
I would say cautiously optimistic is a great way to describe it. To be fair to you,
I can't wait for the end of May to be able to try out the Ronin realms.
Let's look at some of the tokens though trending. Katana. This Ronin token is number 1 right now. It's heart volume for today, 310k. I don't know how this is going to. This is the last 5 minutes. Oh, that is the volume in the last 5 minutes? You joking? Did us talking about it really just like cause a. Let me just go back to that chart and see what's changed. What has changed? Okay, well, it's Ronin. There we go. Wait. So we were looking at this chart. No, it's still the same place, pretty much. I mean, it was here when we were talking about it. It's gone up by 300,000. So I guess that 5 minutes influx. I don't know, bro. I don't know whether to get involved in the Ponzi or not, fam. Either way, cock. Why is cock popping up?
Well, because I think it's got utility in the game and the breeding and everything. So.
Well, things are starting to turn around. If we look at RON itself, we get the RON price up because as we love to look at these opportunistic times, right? See fear, we see opportunity. We're at 53 cents, like I said at the start of the show. It's like a turning round point. We said, Thieben spoke about it. We spoke about it on a few of the shows over the last weeks, that you really want to see like a slow curving here, almost like a steadying out of price to then really be kind of safe to get in and be like, okay, I'm not catching a falling knife, ladies and gentlemen. But I mean, just market structure wise, I think anything that does fall below here is like really, really, really fucking worrying. So like at this point, there's a bit of stability here. Like I'm not giving financial advice out, but I think a consistent factor in here up until the month of May, and then May we see a sentiment turn around and back to Valhalla. We fucking go 200. RON is all the way up here, so we got a long way to go, lads. It's gonna be a big old. I'm shutting up now. Anyway, thank you for tuning into the Ronin Radio today. I don't have anything else. I'm gonna go play some Fishing Frenzy. We got some Axie to still play. The preseason stuff is I think they revealed some of the information, right? I saw a tweet out from Axie. I think that's probably the last thing we'll cover here. There is a change log. Shout out to Jatster, made a post. The Origin Season 13 changelog. After 12 seasons of Origin, we've reached a stage where a diverse range of teams can compete effectively. I think that might be false because we saw the incisors, but anyway. However, a change introduced in Season 12 led to one team composition being more powerful than intended. Oh, so he's addressing it. Beautiful, Jatster. We love that. Give me the candid nature. The first person ever interviewed, by the way, on Gila Gossip, which was the prior form of Ronin Radio. What a legend, Jatster. He was just a community member and now works at Sky Mavis with Axie. For Season 13, we've made balance adjustments to reduce the overwhelming impact of Incisor. Additionally, we've enhanced tri-spikes to give spike teams a better opportunity to thrive in the evolving meta, which is probably a G-host request, honestly. These changes will go live tomorrow along with the Season 13 preseason update, where all players will be provided free runes and charms with era-based testing. As always, we will continue monitoring the impact of these changes over the course of the preseason and make further changes if necessary for Season 13. Let's actually look at it really quickly, Stark, because I know this is something that you've been anticipating. The patch notes, they've buffed Tri-Spikes and they've nerfed Incisor and Gaia's Embrace. Your jinxes are safe, bro. Your jinxes are safe. Now, what has changed? What has actually changed? The Incisor Horn was originally targeting any enemy or ally plus 60 damage on enemies. But if not, it was like, 15 damage? Yeah. And
15, yeah.
apply 4 spikes on the
Four
ally.
spike, and then here it goes. So basically 75 damage on enemies down to 45. But let's look at the improved incisor, because that's the one we're seeing on all the turbo busted comps. So the 60
Less
30
damage
stays
on
the same.
enemies.
Yeah, and then here I think the big thing here is the cap. They've capped the amount of shield incisor can give an ally when you hit it, because if before you would damage allies, and with sturdy fighter it would, let's say, do 200 damage, and then you would give your Axie 800 shield, and then we all know the last action in the games we usually play is bam, 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 and everything's dead. So here the cap that it can give is 250 shield, so that's a massive nerf. But while still making that effective outside of like its intended purpose, but outside of its specific use case with the sturdy fighter. We'll see. I think it's probably over nerfed for that comp, so maybe next season we'll see them try to bring it a bit back in. But overall, I think it's fine. I think it was just overkill. And then the tri-spikes buff, it was expecting it to come. I've been nightmaring some tri-spike reptiles to prepare for next season. So I'm glad that I was able to able to predicting this coming a little bit. It's been a while that it's a team comp, but it's never really been competitive. So looking at the numbers, we'll just have to see. We'll see. I wouldn't be too surprised if one of the eras we see tri-spikes come out as pretty dominant, but who knows?
Honestly, probably be epic, right? Because you get some decent runes in epic.
But then Mystic Era has also showed us that sometimes these epic runes upgraded one more time are where it's at.
Talking about runes, though, guys, embrace.
That's just got a slight nerf. Instead of giving guaranteed 2 leaves to allies every turn, it's 1 or 2. So it's a slight nerf. Because otherwise, you would guarantee every 5 after round 1, your Axies would have 10 leaves. Now there's games where you might low roll that. It was a bit too consistent, I think. When you're playing, when I was playing Jinx against Comps that had it, it was just like guaranteed. It was just way too good, way too consistent. So they've just tuned it down a little bit. So yeah,
that's what she wrote, though. Not too complicated with the changes.
Yeah, not too complicated, and we'll see where we go, because this also it's the start of something new in the sense that there's no massive team in Origins now, so it's also an experimentation of seeing like does these little tweaks feel good, or will it make the gameplay feel stale, or do we need big overwhelming patch notes? And I'm sure Jasser will be monitoring all of that. Maybe there's even a season where the community will be able to start suggesting changes. I think that's not a direction. That's a direction that they're not that they wouldn't be too displeased with, like we did years ago. That one season for Classic where all of the pro players were suggesting patch notes. Yeah, so that might be a direction we move in if that's what the community wants. Like, by all means, if you're someone out here, you're looking at this and you're like, this should have been nerfed. This should have been nerfed. Why didn't you do that? Copy paste this thing, make one, tweet it, tag me, and then I'll make sure it gets some visibility, because that's how you answer to this. If you see this and you're an Argent player and you're like, me, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Make your own, show it, and say, this is what I would have done. That's how you put your voice out there.
I mean, Stark, you could have some homework there. It could be something that you could do, because I think a lot of the reason why voices don't get heard is largely like the sophistication of it, like the organization of it being delivered, right? Like one of the things I came to this industry was actually the ability to impact the games themselves, right? Like, we haven't seen that in traditional games. I was a Pokemon player. VGC for me went terrible when we had Gigantamax and all that shit happen in the Sword and Shield era, but there was no way to kind of have your opinion heard. Even the best players in the world would have opinions on the meta and be like, this is not great for the game or whatever, but it would never be heard. So one of the big factors that drives me towards Web3 is the communication between developer and player. But I think you would probably be one of the best people to kind of organize complaints. So I don't know what it would take if it's like a fucking like a Discord server that's just dedicated towards that, and you guys put together a spreadsheet, and it is like you collect the pro players to come and share thoughts in there. It might be fun. You might have some arguments. Might go down. I like that. But you then might come out with a sophisticated document at the end that kind of suggests things in a way that's consumable by Jatster for one, and then the Axie team as a whole. So, but nonetheless, glad to see that they have addressed this very, very quickly as well. And we're going to see the off season begin with season 13. I don't know what it is, bro, but Axie just still is part of every day. I know it's the bounty board, but really, like, I do end up playing more than the games I need to, just because it just feels like home, ladies and gentlemen. It always is and always has been Axie. But that's about it.
It's important if you're wanting to play, for example, next season, to at least dabble a little bit in the preseason, because you'll be able to see what comps in each era kind of stick out. And also, if you're going to buy Axies, they'll be cheaper now before the season starts, and then the meta actually unfurls. And also, if you have collectibles, if you have non-collectibles that could be turned into Nightmare, playing the off season helps you. That's what I like doing, because I play the off season, then I know that, for example, in a month this build is going to be desirable. That gives me a month to make this or that Axie into a Nightmare, and I can either look at my own collection and make sure it hits level 30, or if it's level 35, 36, maybe I have time to get to level 40 to give me even higher odds of hitting Nightmare. But also sometimes I shop the market. Like, I'll go try spikes and I'll put all the Nightmare eligible parts, find a level 10, find a level 20, delegate it to a homeland plot, try to get a level 30 before the season starts, and boom, try to sell it for $80, $100. So these are all thanks to these preseason. Yeah, and then thanks to the ability to like test out these things in the preseason and the different way, like the rare preseason, the epic preseason, and all of that. You can test out all of these things and flip some stuff.
There are many games being played at once. One of those games, as we've always said, the Axie is a game in itself. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. And we'll shout out to the people that competed in the Elite 8 over the weekend. I think Enrico who won the whole thing. I remember watching it and just seeing Incisor versus Incisor, so I was like, yeah, they kind of need to address this. And lo and behold, the next day we get that tweet and the changes are implemented. So hats off for the quick implementation of that. The last thing that we're going to end on today, of course, it is them boys, them Ronkies, bro. Epic Nanda, man. What is it? I don't know what's going on, bro. But we gotta see something change here. For me, I think opportunity is around us in many forms, but one of those opportunities is the absolute fire sale for our famous Blue Monkey coin. I know NFT probably better than token for some people, but I mean, around these prices now, before maybe a sentiment turnaround, Epic Nana, man, bro. I'm gonna just keep it real with you lot. Like, could Ronki make a run again? We've seen the people that latched onto the Ronki movement as it was happening. I still think Ronki is probably the most active community in Ronin right now, still on the timelines. And there's a lot of interesting prospects for like how Ronki will be integrated into other games, and also kind of what Ronki stands for. So maybe something here still. Is it opportunity or is it epic? Nah, man. That is the last question. I don't know. Stark, have you acquired any more Ronki, or is your Ronki bag just firm and stable?
I've acquired some more. No, but I sold, because I sold it all at some point. I think at like 2.6 million or something.
Jeter!
Yep.
Start Jeter. Yeah, that's my guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not it doesn't look too bad in retrospect, huh?
No. That's a pretty good call.
Oh, yes.
As long as you get back in at these points, we don't want to break.
I have been slowly getting back in with small 50 RON buys here and there to not feed the sandwich pots too much.
Yeah.
And I like Ronki a lot. I feel like anytime it's like a leveraged, I view it like a bit of a leveraged position on Ron, so to speak, as in like if Ron does well, Ronki will do even better. So, and Ron has just been underwhelming in terms of performance, so I'm like, I may as well make that bet on Ronki. But
The other
everybody
question
should be
is-
betting responsibly.
Yeah.
Because it's
The other
at the
question
end of the day-
is,
Yeah.
bro, are we still looking at generational wealth with these? I think so.
No, absolutely.
Like-
I haven't sold any since we minted. I sold some at 50, 60 RON to get my ROI, and then since then I haven't sold a single one. So,
Bro, there's actually such cool ones on the fucking floor right now. And if you're talking about like $30 for a Ronki right now, it's pretty insane, to be honest with you, bro. Like, these are actually some cool ones. Like, that's cool. Like, that's a W.
yeah,
You see-
it's got some real personality.
This is a W. This is kind of a W, semi-W. I think this is a W too. I don't know why. I just feel like the New York baseball cap backwards with the Roman armor is just a W. This fucking it's stupid as fuck. But there's actually grails just sitting on the floor right now. So, you know, if you haven't picked up a Ronki, now is the absolute time for sure. I think this is I'm just telling you, yeah, telling you how it is. We're gonna turn the fuck around. And on that note, thank you guys for tuning into the Ronin Radio. Yo, today has been fun. We checked out Fishing Frenzy. We spoke about the games of the month. Cambria Fishing Frenzy standing on top, standing ovation for them. Axie always the dominant one though, as we enter a season 13 off season. Shout out to Sky Mavis as well, and shout out to Base for coming through to the show today with the Fishing Frenzy tips. If you have started playing Fishing Frenzy right now, you're going to want to use that website. Base will be on X. Actually, I think I can share his X account here so you guys know where you can go to find him here. Just real quick, right at the end of the show, big shout out to Base for coming through. He's worked on a lot of different things, a lot of different tips websites, so you can probably check those out as well. And yeah, we will see you on Thursday. Thursday, we have, actually, before we go, I got to shed some light to this. On Thursday, we actually have our first
Ronin Town Hall.
Yes. And that happens an hour before the Ronin Radio. So we're going to go live right after this town hall. So anything that does get spoken about, we're kind of going to, extend that conversation. If you guys have feedback and opinions on it, come to the Ronin Radio and share your thoughts. And hopefully, there'll be some news that comes out of that town hall. That starts us in that maybe period, as we are so close to May, the month. But this is bullish. I like this. G-Host and Psychout both coming publicly from Facing, talk about Ronin and everything that's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's Q2. The tax period has gone. Are we seeing macro easing itself and liquidity being less scared? Will we see interest rates go to zero and people need to find some forms of yield? We don't know, but I believe, and I am the optimist here. So if you are an optimist too, shout out to you, but if you're not, then fuck off. Either way, thank you for joining the show today. Stark, it's been great. I love you so much. Chat, actually, we're giving away 50 whitelists, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to get them.